Now, he, back in October, wrote the article for our website, and that's the end of my mouse. Perfect. Well,
what?
No more mouse for me. No more mouse cursor.
There you go.
No, yeah, it does this thing where now the only way that I'm able to, if I can just get, no, and now it should actually get me, no, not desktop guide, no. There we go.
There we go.
No. I remember.
Dude, first your phone breaks, and now this.
No.
Just close it again.
We're not starting from anywhere. We're still rolling. Yeah. Oh, and I just failed out.
All right. Hi, I'm Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg. 8-Bit Dad is the modern parent source for real fatherly opinions, which is updated mostly daily. And on this show, we talk about some of the awesome stories that we find from fathers across the internet.
And where do we find these stories?
Well, I'll tell you.
Please.
Because we've never talked about this before.
Nope.
Well, we are part of a dad bloggers group on Facebook, and that can be found at facebook.com/dadbloggers. And the group that we're a part of, it's a secret society. And if you're a dad blogger, you too can join the secret society, and that's facebook.com/groups/dadbloggers.
Yes. One of the awesome things about this group is I really found that I can connect more with these guys in this group than I can just like making comments on their website. Because
definitely,
you have a weird sort of public image that you want to keep, public on your website. Some people have advertisers that they don't want to offend. So it's very, it's very forward facing, but in this group, you have a really intimate discussion that you can't really get anywhere else.
Yeah, well, a lot of these guys will come in and kind of talk a story out. Yeah. They'll start a thread and say, I'm thinking about doing a story about this and this and that. And everyone goes in and just shares really like personal stories and stuff that you might not necessarily, each individual person might not want public, but it really helps the original person to like think about like what issues involve their topic and what they might want to mention, what they might not, and if they do want to quote one of the guys, they can, ask them and say, hey, do you mind if or is that too personal? Or
yeah, and there's like some really good articles that come out of, like you said, like out of these discussions.
Yeah, definitely.
So check that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of articles that won't come out of those discussions.
Yeah.
I've laid down some dingers on that one.
Yes, we have. Yes, you have. We had, coincidentally, we had dinner with two of them the other night. Whit Homey and Jeff Bogle, who was he was in town for the Grammys, I think.
Yeah, well, he runs Out with the Kids, which is his blog, and it covers a whole lot. And that's like an understatement of kids' music industry stuff. So he was out there for the...
And he was in the music industry.
Kid and family thing.
Before he got into
he has a storied past of music, so... I don't know it all. But he does.
Yeah.
So we had dinner with him. If I would have known that he doesn't drink, then I would have suggested we go somewhere other than a bar. But
an Irish pub with the bagpipe karaoke.
There was like a guy literally there with bagpipes at this Irish bar. Like the door opened and like we were sitting outside on the back porch, and like you could hear. I mean, it sounded like he was there. And then later on, we saw him getting into the Miata with his bagpipes, and we're like, oh, it was a guy with bagpipes.
He wasn't a drummer, because driving that car and putting drums in that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
He would have room for like a bongo, and that's it.
Yeah. Just
one bongo, even though they usually come in sets of two.
Yeah. One of the things we talked about was Dad 2.0. They were both there.
Yeah, we weren't. So there's that. So don't look for a recap. Yeah. But there is a recap on the Dad Summit site.
There is, yeah.
If you go to dad2summit.com and click on blog, there's a Dad 2 opinion recaps of Dad 2013, and there's like it's got to be like 30 different
people writing about it.
30 different recaps. They just got all these recaps from everyone's different sites. So there's a whole lot of guys there.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I kind of found out how Dad 2.0 I guess, informally started is that I guess what Mom 2.0 was happening for a while, and then
yeah, they had a panel basically.
Yeah.
At Mom 2.0, a couple guys.
Like, why don't you guys get your own thing?
Yeah, the moms were like,
we love you, but
you guys are great.
We can make babies.
But it smells of sausage around here, so why don't you
get out? Yeah.
And Doug French said, okay, I'll do it.
It's like, okay, I'm going to have a staring contest now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it was a great meetup.
And if you look at the Dad Labs Ustream channel, they have interviews with a whole bunch of these guys too.
Wish we could get interviews, but couldn't make it.
We should have just done them at an airport somewhere. Just caught people on the way into Houston. Just driven down there and
caught Charlie on the way in.
Sat at the airport and hey, can I have a quick word?
Well, who are you wearing? So yeah, that was good.
The conference sounded great, everyone.
Did. Yeah, and we hope to maybe get there next year.
Make our own conference.
Yeah, the 8-bit 2.0. I don't know. All right, what's our first story we got here?
Well, I have a story here from Tom Burns, who is an 8-bit dad writer. And he wrote a story. He used to be before he went big.
We kind of crowd surfed him to the
big guys.
Big guys.
And now we'll never see him again. Maybe he'll write.
Maybe not.
Get a postcard from the top. But he wrote an article back in October called "Buying Boys Underwear for My Daughter," and it was so good.
How good was it?
Well, it was so good that it ended up on Good Men Project in January, and then up to Huffington Post like 2 days later. So it went big. Really simple idea. He was buying boys' underwear for his daughter because he'd go to a retailer like Target, and the boys' underwear had characters on it that his daughter was into. So
yeah, like stormtroopers and
yeah, she liked the Lego Star Wars. She liked the Harry Potter stuff, I guess. She liked the Phineas and Ferb stuff, which evidently they don't make Phineas and Ferb girls' underwear, which was weird to him and me because it seems like everyone likes Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
And so Tom wrote this article about, why he thought maybe it would, that was the case.
I think it was really good because no one really thinks of this stuff, and he was like the first person ever on the internet to say like, "Hey, wait a minute."
Yeah, it's one of those things that like everyone kind of thinks but doesn't think about.
Right.
Like everyone goes to the store and they're like, more pink underwear, great. But they don't really like re-externalize it as something that's thoughtful. Yeah. And he was really able to just to nail it, and that's why it got so much attention. And it got so much attention that after his article hit, one of the underwear manufacturers actually emailed him and said like, "Hey man, it's not my fault. Like, don't blame me for not making girls' underwear with boys' characters on it." And so Tom was like, "Oh, well, that sounds great. It sounds like this is going to be a great argument." And so I remember I was on this email chain because he had the Good Men Project people on it, and he had me on it, and I was like, "Call Target. See if you can call Target right now."
And they're like,
"Yeah." And Target backed away. They were like, "We don't really have a comment," which was awesome for Tom's article.
Right.
So he wrote this follow-up article. Called Kids Challenging Gender Barriers, One Pair of Batman Undies at a Time. I don't think that's his real title. And, he ended up talking to this manufacturer, and the manufacturer ended up being a really cool guy who gave him some great tips on like how to buy like underwear for your daughter that's not, just the 5 things they offer you at the local retailer.
How to make your own underwear.
How to make them.
Go to Etsy.
He was saying that one of the best things you could do is buy online. Go to Amazon because this manufacturing company, Handcraft Manufacturing Corp. They're the ones that make a whole bunch of licensed underwear for kids. And I guess the guy says if he does a run of things that Target doesn't like or doesn't want, he'll just send them to Amazon, and Amazon will buy, 300 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
He'll offload them there. So he said one of the best places to go is a place like Amazon where you're able to kind of go and tailor a search. Who's this guy? Marshall Mizrahi vice president of sales and merchandising for Handcraft. He evidently, this is a quote from him that I like, "Our underwear is 100% cotton and 200% awesome." Tom said talking to this guy on the phone was incredible.
200% awesome?
Just 200.
All right.
So, you know, that was the basic idea was that the manufacturer put it off on Target and said, look, the buyers buy what they want to buy. The buyers buy things you know, that they think is going to sell. You know, so it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing with Target, because Target's going to, of course, say, or they won't because they decline to comment, that their numbers dictate that parents only want to buy, you know, pink shit for their girls.
I think the other thing about Target is that they want to try to remain corporate and politically sort of neutral. They don't want to rock the boat too much on saying, you know, there's a difference in underwear for genders or whatever. You know, like they don't. Yeah,
they very much don't want to get in that argument.
They don't want.
There's no way for them to come out of it looking good.
No.
I mean, I remember around Halloween time, I was pissed at Target because, or the manufacturers or whoever, because they had like Spider-Girl suits, like you know, they have Spider-Man, Batman, all that stuff. But then they have like Spider-Girl and Batgirl and like all these different girl characters. No Iron Girl or Iron Woman.
Iron Woman,
Iron Lady,
Iron Gal.
They had all these pink versions of the costumes, and they were literally just pink versions of the costumes. Or like, you know, Spider-Man with like a pink tutu, but it was like all pink and like a pink tutu or something. And like, come on, like there were female characters that did like Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, Batgirl, Batwoman, Supergirl, and they weren't usually in pink outfits. They were usually in outfits that looked like the male.
Yeah.
So red and blue usually was.
I mean, most cosplayers, like, or costume players, for those that don't.
For those that aren't in the know.
You know, female characters dress up like the actual Spider-Man, or you know, Batgirl, or you know.
Yeah, they don't try to make it cute.
They don't try to pink it up or anything like that. And there's something that's kind of awesome about that. Yeah,
well, I mean, and doing that to your kids really, like, it sets that like divide between boys and girls at an early age, where, okay, well, boys are obviously only supposed to be into superheroes because all their stuff is the right color. Like, girls obviously cannot be into superheroes because even though they have costumes out, they're all completely inaccurate. It's enough to drive a geek crazy. It's enough to drive, you know, like a feminist crazy. Like, it kills everyone except for, you know, the people that just don't think, and they're like, Spider-Girl, here you go. It's pink. Go for it. It's got a tutu. And a tiara. You know, because Spider-Man had a f***ing tiara. So, anyway, so Tom wrote a great article here, and, you know, and I think the big point, again, was you know, go to like places like Amazon. I guess Fruit of the Loom contacted them also. I mean, that's how big this article got. It was on Huffington Post, got a lot of attention. 2 manufacturers contacted them, including Fruit of the Loom. And Fruit of the Loom made, and I'm not going to be able to find this, but they made some sort of underwear that was like a better option. And after the article went up, it sold out. Like, sold out in a couple hours. As of a couple hours of the article being up. I don't know if the Fruit of the Loom Batgirl ones, maybe. I don't know if that was but I don't know. There's something, you have to read the article, because clearly I did. And see, there was a pair of underwear that sold out in the time that the article has been up. And that's really impressive. That's like changing, you know, it's changing the way that this business is being done. So people are looking, people are reading.
Right.
You know, that's important. And, you know, congratulations to Tom for really hitting that and mentioning 8-Bit Dad every time he put an article up.
Which he did.
Of course he did. He started the second article with it.
Of course I love my boys at 8-Bit Dad. But
yeah.
Here we go.
Ever since my article, Why I Bought Boys Underpants for My Daughter, made the rounds on 8-Bit Dad. Boop, boop. Good Men Project and Huffington Post.
Whatever.
I've been flooded with emails and comments. Of course you have Hollywood Burns.
Hollywood Burns. You know, along with the underwear thing, I mean, I think I see this all the time since I have a girl. You know, everything that you buy, T-shirts from, you know, everything, from T-shirts to to jackets to shoes. Everything's pink.
Yeah, and glittery.
And I find some of the best stuff, like, I mean, online, of course. You can buy boys' T-shirts for girls pretty easily. I bought like a Lego Star Wars Abbey Road T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that's like specifically for boys. I mean, that's what it says, and I just bought it because I loved it. And she loves
you
it.
wonder, like, on those things where they say it's specifically for boys. Also, my face is about to implode with allergies.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
You wonder, like, it says for boys, and you're like, why?
Right.
Like a 3-year-old doesn't have breasts.
I mean,
like,
I guess
does it have to be like?
I guess it has to go in like some category.
Yeah.
In a shopping store somewhere.
Everything's got meta tags these days.
Right. It can't be like an area that says kids. You know.
They could just make a girls version and just have it be the same.
But then it would be the same product. It would be pink.
Although, yeah, it would just magically turn pink once it was filed in the girls section.
But, you know, we throw Back to the Future shirts on my daughter, and, you know, we have a handful of boy T-shirts that she loves to wear.
It's funny because I forget what blog I'd read this on, but someone had said somewhere, I think it was on one of the Andy Hines Princess articles, maybe. Someone had said, it's funny that when you're a kid, boys have all the options for clothes and girls have none. And then when you grow up, men have like no options and women have all the options. Like women have a ton of different things that they're able to wear, including men's style thing with polo shirts, pants, things like that.
We got kilts.
Guys have, David Vienna has kilts. Did you see he wore one of those to Dad 2.0?
Did he?
I didn't see it firsthand.
I didn't see a picture. Is there a picture there?
Yeah, there's a picture somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
isn't he Italian? I mean,
yeah. There was no historical validity to it. It was just, you know, it was just a good time.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So what's up next?
Oh, we're moving on. Okay. We got a next article. Oh no, I'm gonna mess that up.
Hard at it.
Am I a helicopter parent? This is by designer Daddy. Are you a helicopter parent? Do you do that?
No. I'm like whatever the opposite of a helicopter is. That's probably what I am. I give my kid maybe too much freedom sometimes.
Yeah. Is your wife?
She's a mother. Like I don't think she's overboard.
Yeah.
She, you know, I don't have any good, like real good examples, but I think the difference that you see the most in is like when my kid's getting ready to go somewhere and he needs to get dressed. Like I will just literally put his clothes, like I'll separate them. I'll make sure that like the pockets are in on the jeans. I'll make sure the sleeves are out on the shirt. I'll make sure the socks are the right way, and like that's it. Like I just put everything down, and I'm like, there you go. I'll see you when you're done.
Right.
And if he knows that my wife is around, like he'll go to her and be like, I don't know how to do this. And you're like, you're 4. You've been putting shirts on for 2 years at least.
Yeah.
Like on your own. Do it. Just do it. Pretty please. Go.
Just do it.
You know, and then he'll like kind of half do it, and he'll like put his head in and like start pushing through, and you can hear it ripping. You know, and he'll be like, no, it's not working. You know, and then my wife like swoops in and like does it for him, and I'm like, you just taught him that's what's going to happen every time. So I don't know. I mean, like he'll cry, and I'll be like just kicking back. I'll light up a cigarette even though I don't smoke. I'm like, get yourself out of it, kid. You know, but you know, I don't know if that's really like that's not really helicopter parenting, but it's. I think like moms have a tendency to like want to like help and nurture more than dads are like. You need to fail. You need to figure it out yourself. You need to achieve and accomplish.
Do you think it's more? I mean, do you think it's?
But there's plenty of ways to go.
Parenting, or is it like, just overprotective?
It's a cute term that's come up like recently. I mean, you didn't hear this term like a couple of years ago.
No.
I mean, I didn't have a kid a couple of years ago, so maybe you did. But I mean, it's all over the news now. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a cute way of. It's probably just a cute way of making the overprotective parenting thing seem okay. Being like, oh, I'm just a helicopter parent, instead of saying like, no, you're an overprotective.
But it sounds like a derogatory term.
Yeah, it does. Like you're hovering over your kid waiting for something to happen.
And I mean, I can sort of see the validity to this because, you know, for children that are younger, just because they, you know, need a little bit more guidance than people that are adults. Even though like what I guess like last year NPR published an article about Michigan State where they pulled like 700 employers looking to hire recent college graduates. And the survey found that almost 1/3 reported parents submitted resumes on their child's behalf, some without their knowledge. So
perfect.
That's great. So I think there's like a limit to when maybe, you know,
it's tough.
It's a broad term.
There's so much technology now that allows parents to keep track of their kid and watch over them and do things for them, and everything's so like not even hands-on anymore. Everything's so like digitally automatic.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, 50 years ago, people were like, moms and dads were like sitting in their living room having drinks while their kids played outside.
Played with metal.
Yeah, played with like whatever they found. Like
forks and knives.
Now it's like, you know, you've got to be outside on the kid, making sure he's not touching certain things, or you got to like have your iPhone out and be like, I can track him. I know how far he is.
I think there's like a possibility, like the thought of something bad happening really drives parents to do everything to safeguard their children wherever they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's where helicopter parenting sort of, you know, it goes to the extreme.
Yeah. I mean, we try to like let our kid like at the park just play. Just play. Like, you want to talk to another kid? Talk to him. You want to play with him? Play with him.
Yeah.
If I don't see my kid hitting or throwing sand, like, I'm fine with him. And I usually just go up to the other parent and say, oh, hi. Oh, our kids are getting along. Isn't that cute? Mm-hmm. You know, and then you talk to them, and then it's more understanding, and it's more like, you know,
I do.
Like, okay. You know, like, if you just stand there on two different sides of the park and your kids are playing together and then something goes down, then the other parent's looking at you like, why aren't you controlling your kid? You're looking at them like, why aren't you controlling your kid? If you're standing right next to them and talking, the first thing the two parents do is always look at each other and go, ha, 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 kids.
Yeah.
You know, so if you let your kid just do his thing and worry about yourself and your own personal and social stuff, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot better and easier than hovering over them and waiting for them to make a move and being like, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to do that. I mean, you know.
And, you know, going back to, you know, Brent's article, his closing sort of statement is, you know, being a parent is a joy, and it's even a thrill ride. And, oh, yeah.
Sure is.
It sure is. He looks, you know, forward to his son being involved in sports and being popular and outgoing, putting himself out there to the world. And he just doesn't look forward to just encouraging him, but, you know, standing back and letting him choose his own path. No need to hover.
Just, you know, stay safely from the home base.
Yeah. So if you have a story and you would like to see make it to our website and our show, you can email us at dads@8bitdad.com.
And you can like us on Facebook. Oh, and we hope you do.
Oh, please.
Please do. And that's facebook.com/8bitdad.
And you can be sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/8bitdads. So. That's it for this week. I'm Zach Rosenberg. And I'm Brian Ferguson. For more videos, you can check us out on the web at 8bitdad.com.
His attention is to the craft, and like, I have an utmost respect for the artist. I would never do a radio edit. I do Dire Straits Money for Nothing little line. I do on the Who's Who Are You, I scream, who the are you?
I do the 7-minute version of Light My Fire. He does the 7-minute version of Light My Fire. It's just a 4-minute like keyboard solo. Stands up there.
No more mouse for me. No more mouse cursor.